Welcome back to Open Line. Tonight I'm here with Jim Brown, author of Ending Our Uncivil War. We've just got you warmed up because we got the calls coming in now. I'm going to go first to Wanda on the line. Hi, Wanda.
I called with 2 quick points, which is morphed into 3 quick points because your screener there was screening my call, which I was not really used to when I've called this show on other occasions, and that got me to thinking about how everything is, used to be geared when we were kind of in a handshake society as far as contracts and that kind of thing, toward giving people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I presume in the instance of the screening that you've got the delay there, so if something were to happen, you could certainly take advantage of it. So that's kind of my first point about the larger, the screening in particular, and then in general just the whole benefit of the doubt situation. Also hoping that at some point you will mention the Better Angels group. I was involved in their workshops, and I found it very interesting. And the last matter kind of ties in with the first about, well, as far as privacy. I was one of the people, I think way back in maybe 2011, 2012, Mark Zuckerberg said that, or maybe before that, he said something about by a certain date, I'm thinking it was 2013, but somebody can look it up, everybody was going to be on Facebook. And I said, you don't know me, because I'm never going to be on Facebook. What happened was, I'm very outspoken, and I like to comment, particularly on articles I read online, and then Facebook has become part of the verification process. So I became a quote-unquote member of Facebook. I got cut off a couple of times by Facebook because they wouldn't believe that my first name was Tennessee and so forth, which it isn't, obviously. But and they still don't have all my correct information because I just, that's a whole different subject. But the point is that when I got tired of arguing with some of the local providers in particular about requiring this form of verification, and realized I was never going to win that argument, and got on Facebook, I went back to them and I said, look, you insisted that I do this because, and that form of verification over Discuss and different other forms, because the whole idea was supposedly that this was going to increase civility, and that people would not say, if they had to give their names, what they would say anonymously. And I said, it doesn't appear to be working. And they said, you're absolutely right. And I said, well, why don't you get rid of it then? And they won't really give me an answer. Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah, people are not ashamed of most people, some people,
she teed up a lot.
Yes, are not ashamed of their beliefs or not afraid to share them.
Well, and the dehumanization behind the screen, big issue.
Yeah.
So we got to get a hold of that, and there's some thoughts about that in the book. But I like what you talked about, Better Angels. I keep hearing Better Angels. I've got a few friends that are now involved in this.
Tell me more about it.
It's this group that is, and there's a lot of different groups that are, Let's Keep It Civil.org, and all these different groups that when I looked at it on Twitter, and I started finding like hundreds of groups that are doing this. Again, this mass movement. Better Angels is part of that. I think they're going to be at Lipscomb July 8, and a big group is going to be over there and talking about things. And it's just the same thing that Oprah did on 60 Minutes, which is you got to get in a circle, you got to get around the table with each other. Doing things from behind a screen is just, it's
sometimes
challenging.
It's almost cowardly.
You go from uncivil, and you see some people, the switch gets flipped, and it goes to civil, and they go out and they go into the Capitol Gazette newsroom, and that stuff is scary. So and some emails that I've gotten from some of my stuff recently, it's like, wow, there's some dangerous people out here that they're beyond firm. They're not in a good place. So I think this is part of the problem, but it also can be part of the solution.
Okay, tell me how.
So if you are setting up if you're not engaging, be the change and engage in a great way and show people how to do it.
And that can be your avenue. That
could be your avenue, and you're being the change you wish to see. That's something I encourage folks to do. I'm so tired of this, and why can't you could if you have an opinion, and you love people, show it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So more of that spreads, and what did Dr. King say? Only love conquers hate. That's how you're going to do it.
Yeah. Wanda, thank you for
opportunity.
It sure is. Wanda, thank you for calling in. Let's go to Candace now. Hi, Candace.
Hi.
Go ahead with your comment, question.
You guys are just point on tonight with your show.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it, so thank you.
I truly, truly, truly wish that your commentary, your statements, and I am sorry, I didn't get the name of the man that's with you.
Jim Brown.
I humbly apologize. I started in a little bit later in the show.
That's okay.
But the fact, you're talking about the Angels group, that answered one of my questions already. I am not a social email type thing, but I try to talk with people in the community. I try to talk with my children and stuff. But to get to my point, though, the part of listening that you express so much, I just can't believe. I would love to see what you're saying get, what do they call that, viral?
Yes.
And start hitting all these wilder, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Because you're point on. And I just want to commend you both for your responses and your statements, and the people that are calling in and talking to you about it. This is just an awesome relief for me to know that there are other people that are thinking the same way I am.
Yes, isn't that wonderful to know?
It's spreading. So I read something, I think it was in Oprah's book, and one of the guys called in on Morning Line and said, he's reading Oprah, what's wrong with him? Well, there's something really cool in there. I mean, a lot of cool stuff in there, but there's this study that shows if you every day you wake up and are grateful for 3 things, and they're different, and you do that for 21 straight days. If you're in a pessimistic place where you're really embracing some of those shows where they're yelling over each other, we're talking and listening, but they cut each other off. If you're there, practice, and you're in a pessimistic place, practice being thankful for 3 things. I love my children. I love my job. I love the city. Wake up the next day and do it. And you do it 21 straight days, and studies show that you're now a borderline optimist.
Wow.
So it's regular practice.
Yes.
And all it is flipping that switch in a good way.
And I think...
Better Angels.
Yes.
Can I say this?
Yes, absolutely.
So the Better Angels piece is a subtitle of Meacham's book, and I put the quote from, this is from President Lincoln at his first inauguration. So we've had 2 callers mention it, and this was what Lincoln said: "We are not enemies but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land will yet swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature." It is a beautiful, he's such a beautiful speaker and writer, and this is a reminder of where we can go.
Because I think at the heart of it, no matter what issue has people divided, at the heart of it, most of us want the same thing. We want to be loved. We want to know our families are safe. We want to accomplish our dreams. That's what we all want, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, right?
And when you're across the table from someone and you're talking and listening, you identify if you're behind that screen caught up in the rigmarole of negativity, you're in trouble.
Yeah. All right, we have to take another quick break. Lucy, I know you're hanging on the line. Please continue to do so. We'll get to you right after this. Stay with us.